You'd think that flying planes all over the world would be a cool job, but you'll never know the horrors that pilots have to go through every time they go behind the cockpit. One such horror that can send you packing your bags or jumping out of the plane is when you have to land in any of the world's deadliest airports, where one false step can lead to a colossal crash. Here are the top 10 most dangerous airports in the world. Number 10, Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport. If you're a die-hard fan of the famous footballer, you might want to check out the Madeira Airport, fondly named after the football superstar, but ensure you have the balls for it. Though, as this airport can give you a heart attack if you're a pilot or even a first-time passenger. You see, while most airports have a firm, clearly cut-out ground or runway for landing and takeoff, the Madeira Airport doesn't. There's only a very short airstrip placed between cliffs and the deep blue sea. The enigmatic runway is extended a few feet into the water to make it safer for planes to land. However, only a few pilots ever escape the turbulent landings that rattle you to your bones. Number 9, Barra Airport, Scotland. Off the west coast of the beautiful country of Scotland lies a tiny island. And on this island, in a small carved-out area called the Isles of Barra, lies the Barra Airport. You might be wondering what makes this airport a scare for pilots. Well, it's the fact that this airport has no actual runway. As a matter of fact, pilots have to land on 3 sand strips located along the water at a location called the Trimore Beach. These strips are made in the shape of a triangle to allow planes to land in any direction. Needless to say, this airport is not for the weak, nor is it for the faint-hearted. Aside from the fact that you're basically landing or taking off from sand, you'd have to battle strong winds if you're to make it anywhere to the skies. To add to the chaos, the sandy runways are only 5 feet above sea level, meaning they basically cease to exist during a high tide. Just so you know how much pilots hate this place, only one airline regularly uses this airport. And there's no telling when these guys will throw in the towel too. Number 8, Narsarsuaq Airport. This airport may have a funny name, but there's nothing funny about it, especially when you're the one behind the wheel. Situated in Greenland amid fjords, the beautiful airport is actually a real-life horror movie for pilots. You have to make it through to the 6,000-foot runway through fjords and strong winds. Plus, there's a deadly 90-degree turn that only pro pilots can make. To add to the already compounding danger, there are live volcanoes in the area that can spill ash anytime, blocking your view or splashing a few hot rocks your way. Flying here at night is the real horror, and only the true ghost riders, or in this case ghost pilots, can ever make it in one piece. Number 7, Peru International Airport. If you're a fan of adventure and daredevil exploits, maybe you'd want to take a skydiving trip to the Peru International Airport. This airport is nested in between dense forestation and high mountain peaks. There's a high chance you'd crash and become a human barbecue if you ever flew this airport as a novice pilot. The airport is located in a valley with mountains as high as 18,000 feet surrounding it. To add to the enigmatic danger, you need to make a sharp 45-degree turn to gain access to the runway. Otherwise, you're finished. Due to the geographic complications, authorities were only able to make the runway about 6,500 feet, which is very short compared to what you have in most airports around the world. And did I mention that this runway is hidden in a blind spot that you'd be unable to see until the last moment when you're about to land? Pilots that fly this death trap are specially trained, as there's no radar to guide pilots. You're pretty much relying on your sight, skills, experience, and guts. Number 6, Wano Erausquin Airport, Dutch Caribbean. Speaking of short runways, how about the shortest commercial airport runway in the world? Welcome to the Wano Erausquin Airport, where you only have 1,300 feet length of runway space to make it or break it. This airport is located on the Dutch Caribbean island of Saba, and needless to say, it's the last place you'd want to be, whether as a pilot or a passenger. To add to the dilemma, the short runway is just next to a mountain cliff, meaning one little error and you'd find yourself nosediving into the ocean at breakneck speed. Just like the Peru Airport, only die-hard pilots who have been well-trained for the epic landing or takeoff are allowed to use this airport. Even then, these guys have no idea which airplane ride will be their last. Number 5, Toncontin International Airport. With a short runway and treacherous terrain, The Toncontin Airport is one that would literally have you slipping if you skipped a few classes in pilot school. Pilots have to make their way through mountainous terrain before taking a sharp turn and descent into the high-risk airport. Next up is the short runway that most pilots overshoot. Number 4, Phoenix, Antarctica. One thing that makes the most dangerous airports is the runway. That's where the magic happens. It's where you either sink or swim. But how would you feel about a runway on an ice continent? The Phoenix runway in Antarctica could literally give you a heart attack. Made entirely out of ice, the Phoenix runway is a special runway made for a military base in Antarctica. It is made out of several layers of densely compacted snow, and on a normal day, the runway is as hard as concrete. Giant planes and heavy military jets can land on this runway without any issues. However, there's a catch. Most times you may just have to fly in blind. You see, this runway lacks one thing almost any airport runway should have: lights. And to make matters worse, Antarctica is known for being very dark, thanks to the icy atmosphere and low sunlight. It gets even worse in winter when the darkness is day and night. Pilots literally have to fly in blind to make a landing. Talk about having to face your fears. Number 3, Tenzing Hillary Airport. Located in Nepal, in a mountainous terrain, 9,382 feet above sea level, is the Tenzing Hillary Airport, one of the riskiest places for pilots to make a landing. This airport has a very short runway of 1,729 feet compared to the usual 7,000 feet. But what's even more terrifying is that this runway sits at the edge of a cliff, right next to a stone wall. As if this wasn't bad enough, the location is also known to have horrible weather, and it's usual for snow or fog to literally cover the runway, making it impossible for landing or takeoff. Just so you know, it's literally impossible for huge planes to land here due to the deadly high-risk runway and geographic location. Moreover, it's mandated that pilots must have at least 1 year of flight experience and at least 100 successful short takeoffs and landings before getting a license to fly in this location. Many deaths have been recorded here, and it seems the countdown will never end. It's best to keep your distance. Number 2, Gibraltar International Airport. How'd you like to sweep across cars, lorries, trains, men, women, and children while landing or taking off from an airport? At Gibraltar, the last thing you'd want to do is make a wrong move, as you could end up killing hundreds of thousands of innocent people. The runway of this airport is between a rock and a bustling city, with the deep blue sea on either side. Pilots have to brake immediately when they touch down or risk crashing into the sea, but beyond that, they also have to cut across a busy street filled with lots of people. The road has to be closed off every time a plane is about to land. Number 1, Princess Juliana International Airport. If you've ever wanted to touch a plane from the outside while it's soaring, like Superman in the movies, the Princess Juliana International Airport may just make your wish come true. However, on the other hand, this airport may also make your death wish come true if you get too cocky. On the island of St. Martin, right next to a popular beach, is the well-known Princess Juliana Airport. From the open beach, you can see planes take off and land at a very low altitude, thanks to the nearby runway and very low fence. Sometimes the planes come so low to the ground that you could literally reach out and touch them. But doing so may just be your undoing, as many enthusiastic beach folks have been blasted off by hot air coming from the jet engines. That's all for this video. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our next videos. See you in the next video.